How's it going, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of Crypto Clout. I am your host, FaZe Crypto. Today is May 17th, 2019, Friday. And of course, we are looking at a 7,287 value for a Bitcoin. At the time making this video, Bitcoin dominance at 56.2%. And I'm sure you're well aware of the recent slight retracement that we saw, but I see it all as sort of par for the course. I mean, for anybody out there who accumulates their cryptocurrency regularly is probably feeling some pretty spicy gains from the value back when Bitcoin was 3,000, then 5,000. I think it's pretty nice to see this sort of movement and all these different things. The fact that Bitcoin has proven that it's able to maintain itself at that 7,200 is in and of itself an accomplishment. And of course, I mean, there's always the sort of cryptocurrency mania coming around once again. And I mean, I see it all as pretty good stuff. I mean, just seeing how the space has been reacting, in coordination with just a few $100s coming off of the value of Bitcoin. I mean, the fact of the matter is, I think that there's two different types of people. I mean, there's people who want to see the price go down so that they can accumulate more. And then, of course, there's people who see it move a little bit and are already excited to blast off to the moon prematurely, perhaps, because, I mean, we look at, where all these things have been going. I mean, how, the space has been developing. We got some interesting news, of course, Ripple XRP could crash below 0.15 during the next downtrend. Of course, this article goes on to say Ripple XRP is hanging on by a thread as the price is ready to decline all the way to the bottom of the descending triangle. It's been trading in 2018. The triangle is now extremely likely to be broken, and the downside is Ripple XRP has failed miserably every time it has attempted to break out of it. The price has now faced a strong rejection. I mean, personally, I'd be buying this right up. Personally, I mean, if we saw, a downtrend and a resulting XRP value of 0.15, hell, I'd be all for it. I'd be just running to my nearest computer and pretty much accumulating XRP left and right. I mean, whether or not we actually will see this happen, I mean, I suppose it's more something to be said. It's remains to be seen. But at the same time, I mean, I think that we can make a pretty interesting case, as far as looking at how this space has been going. Where we've been seeing a lot of these different developments. But of course, I mean, we're gonna have days like this. The 7% in the red. It's nothing new, and I'm sure people are well aware of where we could possibly go from here. And I think that, I mean, it's pretty awesome to see just the fact that the community. I mean, it's nice to see some energy pumped into it. Honestly, I think it was feeling a little bit stagnant for a time there, but that this sort of price movement does in fact reinvigorate things. And certainly, I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who are getting pretty excited for what's next. And I mean, when we want to talk about what's next, I mean, this article right here is pretty interesting. I think the key takeaway from the past few weeks is that with each of these surges, the overall interest and investment continues to expand around the growing core of real blockchain use and adoption, which is pretty, amen to that. Pretty exciting stuff we're seeing. I mean, in particular, looking at, looking at all these different things. I mean, I think, I'm virtually excited for every cryptocurrency. I mean, I'm accumulating. I mean, anything in the top 100, I think, is pretty interesting, crypto to look at. And of course, I think the Litecoin people were the biggest winners with this recent. I mean, if you knew when to jump off, basically you didn't get too greedy, then I'm sure that, I mean, I know some people who got, got Litecoin while the getting was good back when it was that sale was going on and so forth. And I'm sure that there's plenty of people who are missing the good old days only a couple months ago when we were seeing Electronium back in its cheaper value, and that window of opportunity to accumulate has sort of passed a lot of people by for now. I mean, hopefully we'll be able to revisit some of those low periods. I mean, I just get so nostalgic so quickly. Just the fact. I mean, I'm glad for the December month, the February sort of time period that we had. With the time with Bitcoin, it's a shame to see it the value up so high now. I mean, taking profits where you can. Of course, with the different strategies you probably have set up and all these different things. But at the same time, it was nice to be able to just pick up a full Bitcoin for $3,000. I mean, this still was a pretty good value. I mean, in hindsight, obviously hindsight's 2020, but still, I mean, it is an interesting thing. Of course, co-founder, teases adding Litecoin to cryptocurrency payment app. Now this is an interesting article right here. Litecoin vice president of Nationwide Merchant Solutions, Joe Moore, couldn't agree more. He tweeted, the reason Litecoin should be added to Flexa is because hashtag pay with Litecoin is all about spending and supporting merchants that accept LTC. That has nothing to do with tech. It's about sound money freedom and supporting crypto adoption. And I am very excited. I mean, I think anybody who's got the gall to talk doom and gloom in the space hasn't actually seen the redemption that Bitcoin just pulled. I mean, the people were really feeling disheartened, I think, with the stagnating, and now we're sort of seeing the Bitcoin mania heightened up to levels that we'd really probably bring you back to 2017. Certainly. And of course, this article right here is definitely relevant in that context. I'll be making a oh god. Yeah, I mean, I'll be making a video about cryptocurrency adoption, and for the better part, how the overall sentiment of the cryptocurrency space has been evolving over time. We'll be able to talk about a lot of these different points in more depth, which I'm very much looking forward to. And I think that the Facebook cryptocurrency is definitely something interesting that's coming around the corner, to see how these social media platforms basically mesh with the growing infrastructure that we're seeing developing around the space. So I mean, the sentiment, I think, is definitely maturing. I mean, and it's definitely interesting to see Bitcoin left for dead. Bitcoin went on a tear and sparked new mania. Of course, that $8,000 was pretty nice to see. So crypto price soared that year, with Bitcoin gaining 1,400%. The legendary digital gold and mania over its performance drove the price to almost 20 grand. I'm sure you all remember entrances popped up early daily with hundreds peddling their new digital coins. All that was followed, of course, by the colossal crash of 2018 that wiped out billions in value and pushed many to abandon the space altogether. I think that right now we'll probably start to see, slowly but surely, people moving back into the space. It was a shame to see that sort of mania deflating, but yes, as our good friend tweeted, Bitcoin back from the dead, which is very nice to see. Suffice it to say, notwithstanding, but hopefully these things last, and I'm sure we've got a bright future ahead of us. But all that being said, of course, you guys remember this video is for entertainment, educational purposes only. of course, the Twitter is at CryptoTuber. Make sure that you guys go and follow us on Twitter. This video is not financial advice, but I think that it was just a good opportunity to just go over what's been happening in the past couple of 24 hours, basically, in the cryptocurrency space. I hope you guys have enjoyed this live stream. Make sure that you guys subscribe and do what you got to do, and stay relevant, everybody. Have a good one.